prayer. And the heat is coming. Don't they look like that? Remember the spicy. I see one red wheat. We're ready?
Yeah. Hi.
Hey guys.
Yes, welcome back to our channel.
And this is our final review for the Hazel Wood. The second half. Yeah.
Yes. My gosh, were you looking forward to it as much as we were looking forward to it?
Yes, glad it's over.
Oh my goodness. And it is also the day for us to tell you what's next on the pick list, which is the Raven Boys.
It's right there.
Oh, it is right here.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Yes, and so at the end of the review for the Hazel Wood, we give you, well, Shanique really, because she went ahead.
I did not read the book. I just
She
read
went ahead.
I just read the prologue, people. I did not read the book. Okay. Alright, and as you can see today, we're having lunch as usual. We did tell you guys to bring your snacks, so I hope you did.
So, you know, we're leading by example. Come on. Alright, so are we going to get into this?
Well, okay. So I'll start and just give them an overview. Alright, so we know the Hazel Wood is about Alice, who we later found out was Alice 3 times from the tales of the hinterland. We later learned that her grandmother isn't actually her grandmother. Her mother isn't actually her mother. Ellery died but wasn't actually dead. Her grandmother, Althea, was a door. She herself was also a door.
You need help?
It was a lot.
Shanique is struggling.
A lot happened in the second half of the book.
Listen, we have talked about second half of the book. Like, a lot happened in the last 6 chapters of the book. I don't know, at one point, people, we were reading the prologue or epilogue of the book. Yes, we were reading the epilogue and I didn't even realize there was no warning epilogue or something, because that's what it felt like to me. They said never judge a book by its cover, and I also think never judge a book by the middle, because I feel like last time review was, I don't know, the last 5 chapters just went ahead and just messed all of that up. So, you know, we might need to reconsider, Shani,
How we feel about
how
the
we
book.
feel about the book or any book before the final review. So we're going to, you know, reserve our feelings until the final video.
I mean, I still feel in a way that we still don't know very much. And I think it ended like, oh, everything is okay now. We've defeated the bad luck. We can live our normal lives now. And it seems like persons who have been to the hinterland now has a way to get out of it fairly easy. Based on what Janet said when Alice met her in the very last chapter. So I'm wondering though, if it seems resolved, what is going to happen in the second book?
I don't know, because I am telling you, following Alice through this story, understanding, like, come on people, the man that kidnapped her when she was 6 years old was her husband. Like, look, I don't or one of the brothers who were her husband, who won the challenge, the princess challenge, to be a suitor or whatever, and she was going off to marry them, and one of the brothers feel like, say, yo, you know, she's supposed to be a slave. Also that her father, when she became an adult, and we say became because Alice 3 times grow in jumps.
Yeah, 3 times.
So when she became an adult, her father was leering, you know, after her mother treated her like she wasn't really her child. Her father wasn't really her father based on what is being said, and the mother apparently had some affair with some cave people we come from ice, which is where Alice get her ice and anger from, and all this.
That would explain a lot.
I mean, there is so much to unpack. The character development, let's talk about it. It's non-existent. Okay.
True.
You had to read, and I'm sorry for those who haven't read the book. Probably this video is not for you, and people who like the book, this video may not be
I
for
would
you
say
either.
it wouldn't be for the people
No spoilers?
who like the book, but spoilers, yes. If you haven't read it, don't watch the video.
Yeah, like form your own opinion on this particular book, and if you dig it, you dig it. But it wasn't something that I felt like I could really run with.
I mean, especially when Alice got into the hinterland, there was this flurry of characters being introduced, and we didn't know anything about them because Finch was gone, so there's nobody to tell us anything word for word anymore, tell us any stories. So we had to count on Alice's interaction with these characters, and we know Alice already. She knows everything, and she has this view of everyone and everything. It's nothing more than this, and it's just that, and that's all you get from Alice.
We, through a conversation that was brought on by a truth serum, we found out what type of person Althea was. We found out that we were so there berating poor little Ella when Ella was almost half mad based on Janet's deduction and how her mother raised her. So when I said that, you know, the whole last 5, and I'm being very serious, the last 5 chapters of the book kind of gave a new light to a certain things. Okay, so oh, this makes sense, oh, that makes sense, everything making sense in the end.
Yup.
Type
All
of
the way
thing.
at the end.
All the way at the end, we kind of realized the motivation or the inspiration behind this book that Melissa would have had, which seemed Shanique has her own theory. Go ahead, Shanique.
Oh yeah. No. Okay. So what I was saying is that Melissa pulled a very classic fairy tale get out of jail free card. And I don't know if anybody here watches Hungarian folk tales, but you know where you have to do something for some random stranger, and if you do everything that they ask, you get a wish. And that's how Alice met Janet. So some dude told her what to do, she did exactly that, and she got her wish, and that's how she met Janet, who happens to be her grandmother's ex-lover. And this is where we also found out that, well, I guess we found out prior, but then additional information that Althea wasn't as great as everybody on Earth made her out to be.
No, she wasn't.
She's a very, they call it conniving,
Selfish,
woman.
yeah, manipulative, everything. And, you know, everything is supposed to be her way. Da, da, da. I felt like he was so touching though, the red hair guy, having saw from his perspective in the latter end of the book, where he was like, I'm not just a story. And the fact that he was trying to help her when he was trying to carry her back to the interland, because he said the story wouldn't have let her go. I feel like there are so many things that I would have loved for it to go deeper in. I thought I wanted to actually know his name. You understand what I mean? Like there need to be more about him, because he seemed like one of those lovable characters at the edge that, you know, is like he had some level of awareness, having been, you know, going through, and he became awakened, and he even brought through a different dimension to say, before Ella took you, she tried to steal me. And he was, because of his love for Ella, he was trying to help her since then. And
as I was saying to Kenisha, this just sounds so Wreck-It Ralph-ish.
Oh yes.
You know, the whole resetting of each day, doing the same thing over and over. It just seems that that's exactly what it was, that the stories exist over and over and over. But if they weren't stories made to be told by anyone, then why did they exist in the first place?
You know, Alice's conversation with the story spinner, who is the person who created the Interland, basically, because the Interland ran on story. It stars, the breeze will blow, the trees, it ran on story. And I feel like, to Melissa's credit, I feel like it's such a beautiful concept. I just didn't feel like we were able to connect to the concept as much as we could, because there was just nothing for, it's like you're now hearing all of this world is now created for you at the latter end. There was no development. You know nothing about Alice. Alice knows nothing about herself. Yeah, so why did it kind of, I mean, it's her story and she do it or she wants to do it, but I mean, I just wanted to connect a little bit more with the characters. Janet just came up and there was, okay, Janet was just, the only role Janet played was to just let us know the backstory. How Althea really got into the Iltalan. What did she do, because by the time she had met Althea herself, Althea wouldn't tell her nothing. You know what I mean? So this continuous suspense was just like, God no, you really don't have to be doing all of this. This is like Pantene too much. And at this point in the book, when the book is almost finished, we should have known more about the people in that list. Like, that's how me feel about it, really.
I think she being Melissa, played on the fact that Alice, because Ella took her as a baby, the only thing she knows is Earth. She grew up X way and this is her life. Now she's thrusted into the hinterland, into a story that she's only heard about. So probably that's why it seems so, unnatural to her. But then reading so many chapters and then getting to the end of the book and still knowing almost nothing. Because we wouldn't say it's nothing, but just still almost nothing.
And okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say she just gives you the bare minimum and hardly goes into any sort of descriptions about anything. So I believe that it's similar in a way to Inkheart, where the story spinner would be like the silver tongue, and the only difference is the person spinning the story did not create the stories and they're not in the land which the stories are created. But it's kind of a similar concept, because the silver tongue brings the stories to life so that they can exist in the real world and not just on the pages. But in Hinterland, there actually are no pages.
Yeah, and then the whole concept where Althea was saying, Janet said that Althea was actually looking, what she said, she spoke to those stories at the edge, and there are X stories and all these things, and that's what Alice became. She became an X story. I don't know.
Yeah, that part made me think too, like, where does the Tales from the Hinterland actually exist? Because it sounds like they were traveling within the pages of a book. That's what it sounded like.
It's like nothing. I think our biggest critique, and I feel like we're killing it, Shani. Do I think we're killing it? Our biggest critique is simply that there's no development. We can't even call it character development only, but the development of the story itself and how everything plays into each other. There was some stuff that was just lacking in all of that for you to, as a reader, to make a connection with the story. It does have similitudes to many different stories that we have read, and so we understand that, it is what it is. It's the old movie, it's Inkheart, it's Alice in Wonderland.
It's Hungarian
folk tales. It's
Wreck-It Ralph.
Every fairy tale that you have read or heard about somehow, So at the end of the day, that's really what it is. The last 5 chapters I really enjoyed, I must say. The last part of the book, not because it was finishing, but because I wanted to see where it was going, and they finally felt like there was some action. Like things were happening and you want to know more.
You know what I found weird though? Like, why did Janet not age?
For 50 years.
Right. Like everybody else did. What's her face did. Ness. Like, yeah.
I think it's because, but I don't know. I don't feel like I can answer that for you. Ness was in the woods though. She wasn't necessarily in Interland. She was in the halfway woods. So I don't know if that's what affected her really. But Janet was in the story where, according to them, time works weird because every day is reset. Basically, once the story ends, it starts all over again. So perhaps there. Okay, see, we even try to hypothesize here and theorize what is going on in the story because there is no explanation, and I don't really feel like you need so much of an explanation in the entire book. But I feel like you kind of just need to let us know what's going on. You know what I mean? Why am I reading this? Why Alice is so listless? No. That she's out of the story. She keeps on walking from Brooklyn to Manhattan.
Yeah, like she's missing a part of herself.
What is going on, and how is that going to develop? How that when she found she had a heart with Audrey, she was talking with Janet, and the story basically ends on another cliffhanger because with a lot of other questions. Cause like, what's going on?
Where is Finch?
Where's the redhead dude? Because I wanted to see some level. I don't know why. I felt like I wanted to see some romance develop. I wanted to see how their relationship would have developed.
I mean, Alice said she imagined herself doing stuff with Finch that she's never actually done.
But
and
one
of those things was holding hands, which alludes to the fact again that she had feelings for him. So possibly the thing with the redhead dude wouldn't have gone anywhere because she had strong feelings for Finch. So, that's another theory.
I still needed to see more. Like, but she was like Finch is a friend. You know, I feel like it's all girls get when you know you have a friend and the best friend is too close on my time.
But if you read her thoughts, like every time she spoke about him, like in her head, she imagined him or talked about him being something more than just a friend.
Well, or her understanding of that, because she felt like, but her last words though is what are the last thing she said when she left Finch. When Finch said, so there was this girl. No, when she said, so I met this girl. And he said, maybe. You know what I mean? And then for me, she just, okay, bye. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so out to find him out because she was like, you know, I know he would have left, you know, a whole entire world for some girl. You know, he has grown up so much now that,
Speaking, you know, like she's 100 years old.
You know what I mean? That, you know, he would have done so much he has done so much for me, so he would have really done anything for anybody that he has loved. And so, or that he loves, and I was like, I don't even know what to feel. It's finished, and I would say that it's genius in the fact that it has left us in complete suspense for a very long time.
And the question here now is, Kenisha, will we read the following books?
I don't know.
I mean, I told Kenisha that I would get
the Tales of Hinterland.
Yeah, to see if it's actually the Tales of Hinterland. I am waiting for the synopsis or the bio to come out before I buy that book because I want to know. And if it is, then I will buy it. But if not, then I will not. Yeah, so I guess that's the end of our review
of the Hazel Wood.
Right.
Really and truly, it is what it is. It is a novel, and because I'm a reader like I am, I get angry at characters. And I was very angry.
So angry that she added an H.
I was very angry. Very, very, very angry towards the end of the book. And I felt like it was rushed too. Like, it kind of felt like we were just muddling through. Really, just muddling through. And Alice was muddling through, and the entire book was muddling. I think finally, in the end, five last chapter, it'll be like, oh, it has now found its purpose. And we once again had to watch Alice fight through her story, not knowing what to do, not really realizing or having a feeling but not really knowing, you know, just in that limbo space. And yeah.
As you said, Alice is Alice is omnipotent. She knows everything, even when she doesn't know it. The Raven Boys.
What her
No,
Shani?
King just said I read the book. I did not read it.
Yeah, she did. She went ahead because this is how.
I read
Yeah.
like probably a 1.5 of the prologue, and it's like 2 pages.
Guys.
Well,
Let me let you in.
4 pages.
You see how she's talking over
long.
me? Let me let you in.
I did not read it.
Come a little closer to the seat, okay? Let me let you in on what Shani did. Shani was so over the Hazel Wood that she went ahead and be like, so Kenisha, I just came in one day and she was like, so apparently the Raven Boys, it's about a girl, and she was there telling me this entire story and I was like, what? Wait.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I only read up to the part about this girl named Blue, and her true love is supposed to die by her kiss, or will die by her kiss. Now, as you can see, there are 4 boys on the cover. So, possibly Blue plays a very important role in one of their lives, or all of their lives. I don't know. Here you go, read the back of the book. Now to tell you what the book is actually about.
Alright, so there's only 2 reasons a Annoncier would see a spirit on St. Mark's Eve. Either you're his true love, ... or you killed him. Every year, Blue Sergeant, that's how you pronounce that word, stands next to her clairvoyant mother as the soon-to-be dead walk past. Blue never sees them until this year when a boy emerges from the dark and speaks to her. His name is Gansey, and he's a rich student at, what is that word? Aglonby?
Possibly.
Right, the local private school. Blue has a policy of staying away from Aglonby boys, known as Raven Boys. Okay, so the entire school.
Okay.
So now we're getting context. They can only mean trouble, but Blue is drawn to Gansey in a way she can't entirely explain.
So maybe that's the true love.
He's on a quest that has encompassed 3 other Raven Boys. Adam, the scholarship student who resents the privilege around him. Ronan, the fair soul whose emotion ranges from anger to despair. Okay, another Alice. And Noah, the taciturn watcher who notices many things but says very little. For as long as she can remember, Blue has been warned that she will cause her true love to die. She doesn't believe in true love and never thought this would be a problem. But as her life becomes caught up in the strange, sinister world of the Raven Boys, she's not so sure anymore.
So you see, that was the full extent of what I read, and I didn't even read the entire prologue.
Alright, so them said this lady is a master storyteller, says USA Today. So,
We'll see.
we'll see. We'll meet you back here, same time, same place, to talk about the first half of the Raven Boys. So I'm Ken.
I'm Shanique. Shen.
Yeah, look more.
Peace.